There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With even more exclusive content, with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
Well, in the world of speed trap protection, Escort certainly has been there from the get-go, and they've been continuously evolving with the times and technologies. On this edition of Showcase, we've got two product experts, not one. We've got both Larry Penn from MSC and Brady Siebert, who will be in the house talking to us about all the latest custom installation options that are available. This is CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM, Escort, and it starts now. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to this edition of CMA Showcase, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. And, we've been covering all different types of accessories throughout these sessions, and we've kind of come to a category that we've never really had a huge opportunity to discuss, but represents a tremendous opportunity for so many 12-volt retailers throughout Canada and, of course, the U.S. Of course, we're talking about speed trap protection, radar. There's so many different terms for it, but Escort is one of the major players in there. And when it comes to Escort in Canada, well, we need no look further than the team at MSC to help us out. They've done an incredible job with their proof of concept store in Calgary that we're going to learn all about. And you're going to find out by tuning in today and staying with us how you could optimize this opportunity, maybe get your shop in this speed protection game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and invite our esteemed guests, starting with Mr. Larry Penn, the president of MSC. Hey, Larry.
Good afternoon, Ben. How are you?
Oh, good to have you back. It's kind of refreshing. We're so used to talking about, audio and DSP, and trust me, there's nothing wrong with that. I love, how much I love talking about that stuff. But, anybody who follows MSC, especially on social media, knows that what we're about to dive into today really represents a pretty significant part of your business as far as your proof of concept store in Calgary. So I thought I'd give you the opportunity for opening remarks to kind of talk to us a little bit about this business, the category, MSC, and Escort, kind of all bundled into one. Give us a little overview.
Yeah, in starting the store, and we'll get in a little deeper in that after we bring on our very special guest today. But radar, speed trap protection as a whole is a huge part of our retail store. And without that, we wouldn't have been able to get to the level in business that we are. And we took a long time to learn it. We made a lot of mistakes along the way, trying to figure out how to make it work. But it's a solid part of our business plan now, and we are very proud to represent Escort, which is they've just been around forever. Guys my age just know that brand name as quality.
Guys your age. Come on now, Larry.
I know.
Your age.
20. Usually when you're 25, you got that experience. But
I suppose at 25 you would have that experience.
So today we've got a real special opportunity. Gentleman that I've worked with in different capacities over the years, but he is the director of sales for Cedar Electronics now and the CI specialist for Canada. He's responsible for the CI marketplace in Canada. CI stands for custom install, and that's really what we're going to drill down in today to figure out how this category can fit in your business, the difference it can make in your business, because everybody who has a foot and a gas pedal goes fast.
And to be clear, the CI business that we'll be speaking to specifically, this is perfectly suited for all those 12-volt specialty retails that tune in.
Absolutely, and we're going to discuss how coming up.
Amazing. Well, without further ado, why don't we bring on this special guest? His name is Brady Siebert, and like Larry mentioned, he is the Director of Sales for Cedar Electronics, or otherwise known as Escort. Let's go ahead and bring him on.
Good morning, guys.
What's
Or
going
afternoon.
on?
Afternoon, based on somewhere where you're at. So,
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Brady.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I mean, you can give Larry his $5 now for that great intro he kind of set up for you.
Yeah,
But I definitely want to take this opportunity and kind of get to know you a little bit better. This is our first time on CMA Network. So, Brady, tell us, what is your role and your responsibilities at Cedar Electronics?
Well, like you guys alluded to, so I'm the director of sales for Cedar Electronics. I mainly focus on 12-volt retail and car dealer sales in the U.S., but I also oversee all sales and support for the CI product in North America. So I've got a team of couple regional sales managers in the U.S. as well as a national sales manager that also help put together the whole story when we're dealing with dealers across North America and the as well. So
All right. All right. So you're the guy, you're the man, and that's why you're here. Give us an update, for those like me who aren't totally in tune with what's going on in the world of, radar and speed trap protection and all this type of stuff. From a business perspective, what do retailers need to know about the business right now?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's happening. So, I mean, the last few years have introduced a ton of advancements and changes for dealers. Vehicles have become far more challenging to work on, as you've seen in any sense. Law enforcement, their technologies are also advancing. So that makes more of an issue for us to actually have to play that cat and mouse game all the time. And when you talk about the cars, I mean, the technology that's in those cars, I mean, they're making it far more difficult to have accurate detection because there's you're dealing with false alerts all the time, and false alerts can be fixed false alert, or they can be generated by the car itself with the CAS systems, with blind spot monitors, all that type of stuff. So when you're dealing with that, you've got to have technology to help counter that. And every time a detector gives that false alert, I mean the user or the end user, they kind of lose a little faith or a little confidence in that, because they don't want to have that that issue where when that signal comes across, they want to know that, hey, you know what, this is something that I need to respond to because there's a threat out there. So so yeah, it's an ever changing world, really. So
it sounds it's an evolving or evolving environment. So I guess to connect the dots then, how has Escort reacted or adapted to such a evolution in the market?
well, over the years, we've really done a lot of work in developing technology to actually help mitigate that. So first, we employed GPS technology on our devices many years ago, and that helps us use our patented auto learn technology that allows our products to learn signals that are fixed false alarms, things like automatic door openers, stuff like that. So we learn those automatically as you're driving, so that the more you drive, the quieter it gets. On top of that, we've also now started using DSP technology to actually power our in-vehicle technology, or our Ivt filter. That Ivt filter basically allows us to have technology to help counter all of those false alarms that are caused when you're moving, not so much a fixed signal, but moving signals that can't be locked out by a GPS location. And those, again, vehicle CAS systems, BSM systems that create those, they're a nuisance. And so you've got to have technology that actually helps counter that and make the ride quieter as you go. So so that's a lot of the stuff. I mean, obviously developing, continuing to develop, as we go. We have, our Drive Smarter app that actually even connects all of our technologies as well, not just in the radar, but even on our CB radios and the dash cam networks and stuff like that. So we actually have products talking to each other as well. So
it's like a suite of products that all communicate, that make it for a more complete immersive system.
correct.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Correct.
All right, so let's get the scoop. How did you connect with gentlemen on top of you? Like, where did this come about? What is the history here? How did you end up working with Larry and the team at MSC?
Boy, Larry.
Be careful, he's right
We
here.
go
He
back
can
a
hear
couple
you.
years. So yeah, MSC, Larry and his team, they've been a great partner of ours for years now. Ever since he opened his incredible store there, and we've just continued to build on that relationship as well. They've represented our entire product lineup since they've opened their door. Over the years, they've been really one of the top CI retailers in all of North America. Their focus and attention to what they do in that category is second to none. Quite honestly, they work on top tier cars. Their dedication to integrating technology. This product is not something you want to just practice, peel and stick. You want to help integrate it like it became part of the car itself. So if you ordered a Ferrari, you want that Ferrari with the radar detector system like it came from Ferrari. So and that's stuff that um, guys at MSC have taken that to the next level as well. So yeah, it's it's a great relationship. We continue to build on that day by day, and look forward to a lot of that coming forward. So
Amazing. Well, Larry, you can give that $5 back now,
Well,
or
not
the other way
5.
around.
I'm gonna do 20.
There you go.
It was 20 beaver bucks, Brady.
wait a minute, 20 Canadian doesn't count.
Oh, here we
So,
We're going to have the opportunity to look at some of these builds that MSC has done for sure, and to kind of inspire other retailers that, the type of work involved and obviously the business model. What does the future hold? If you're looking down the road, Escort, MSC, you guys obviously have a joint venture that's been very successful. What can we forecast for the next couple of years?
Well, our company is dedicated to innovation. We continue to innovate and constantly are looking forward. So there's always something new on the horizon. We definitely plan to build on that as we go. We focus really on how do we best serve our customers and our dealers. It's a combination of where you have we interface with at the dealer level, at the consumer level, and all that type of stuff, and so we really have to evolve on exactly how the best way to do that. And obviously our partnership with between us and MSC, it's always about providing the best possible support across the board. We'll continue to develop these industry reference products, and MSC obviously will continue to provide the most in-depth support possible. So we value that relationship like no other. So
Amazing. Larry, anything to say to Brady before we let him go?
As Brady said, it's been a very long-term relationship for us. It started before Escort. Worked with Brady in audio world before when Brady was a rep for a rep firm in the U.S. That was one of our reps, and he's just always been that guy that works with us, does what's right, and we're excited to carry on with our relationship into the new year.
Amazing. Well, Brady, thank you so much for taking the time and joining with us today, giving us some insight behind Escort and the relationship here with MSC. And we are looking forward to hearing what Larry has to show us today. So thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.
awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the time.
Take care, Brady. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Take care,
You bet.
Brady. We go away. We have a quick video to kind of get you guys all amped up for what we're about to learn. When we come back, we're going to talk with Larry, and we're going to get deep into Escort radar protection.
You made a choice to drive the very best. Make the most out of your investment with the Escort Max Ci360, the world's most advanced radar and laser detection system. You demand top performance from your vehicle and from your radar and laser defense system. The new Escort Max Ci360 is the most powerful and complete protection available. Stay aware of threats in 360 degrees while you're invisible to anyone who wants to stand in your way.
All right, Larry, let's get into it right now. We want to talk about the business side of things. A lot of dealers tuning in. I talked to a few. So there are some very hardcore committed, been doing for a long time, and there are others like, we don't really touch that stuff. I think our purpose here today, Larry, and the message we want to get out is this is a business that is viable. This is a business that's successful for many, you included, and we're going to share some of that. So is the speed trap protection category big business for your proof of concept store located in Calgary?
It certainly is. And those who have been in our store or know of us, it's well over 50% of our
Whoa,
business
whoa!
currently.
Stop the front door. What did you just say?
50.
Half of your business is speed
Yeah.
trap protection,
Yes.
even with all the amazing car audio stuff you go. Half.
Correct. Right.
Interesting.
So that is what fueled us from the when we formed the distribution side of the company. Is we looked at this in a completely different way. And my travels throughout North America and the world, actually, but when it relates to radar, it was North America. And I got to meet some very, very amazing dealers, Benchmark Motoring in Seattle, AI Design out on the East Coast. These guys do tons and tons and tons of radar, Cartoons of Atlanta. All of these guys are great, great dealers. And I had this little vision in my brain of our million people population in Calgary, where it's frozen 7 months of the year. But I had it in my brain that we were going to turn this into a serious part of our business. And we made a lot of mistakes along the way. And a lot of dealers that aren't doing the business right now look at it as if somebody comes in and asks for it, then we'll order the kit and we'll put it in. And we're there to support them with that. But what our goal for the balance of this year and into 2023 is going to be is we're going to take the same passion and the same training regime that we have laid down on the audio side, and we're going to do special 2 to 3 day workshops specific to the radar category. Because there's a lot of dealers out there that haven't been exposed to what this can do for their business. And nothing is more gratifying for us as a retailer to we've got guys, our top radar client or speed trap protection client has dealt with us for the full 15 years we've been here. We've done probably 30-ish cars for him and his brother. Every car has the same system in it, same Escort system in it, and they just keep rolling it. And they haven't had a ticket. So they keep coming back. Now, we're never, and those of you who are in the business, this isn't a force field. This isn't a
I was going to ask. I'm happy you brought that up, because this is not a let's get this out of the gate. This is not a guaranteed 100% system, right?
No, it certainly isn't. And there is those companies out there that will they've got ticket free guarantees and all that stuff, and that's wonderful, because this is whatever percentage you want to put on it, almost a get out of jail free card, put it that way. But there is still that small percent of a chance that if everything is in the right condition, that you can still get a ticket. But we continue after 15 years of repeat client after repeat client, and we have the Porsche dealers selling this in their new cars, the Lamborghini dealers selling it in their new cars, and we want to bring that education to our dealers to have them understand. If you look at your business now and you're successful and you're making money, imagine if you could transform that to doubling your business without trading dollars with anybody. It's a whole new category. And if you take it serious, and that's why we give a lot of credence to this proof of concept, because we're doing it. We're not sitting in an Oval Office somewhere saying we think we can make this happen. No, it's happening. Like if you go in the back,
whether or not you want to get a piece of this or not. Basically,
right. We've got 3 cars in the back bay today that are getting CI full-blown systems in it. So ranging in price from 55 to 75.
This ain't no BS. This is happening right now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned something. You mentioned something there, Larry, that you made mistakes along the way. It was kind of like a learning process to kind of get to the level that you're at now. How did you I mean, you are saying that you're about to embark on a program, get that MSC culture underway, the training. But let's rewind a little bit here just to hear the story here. How did you educate yourselves in this category? Where did you learn this from? Where did you get the information? Like, how do you even begin?
So we had this box of product, radar heads and laser shifters and everything else, and we went at it like everybody else did. Let's put this stuff in a car and take the client's $5,500 and set them on the road. And then
sorry,
really,
just hashtag $5,500 average install price. Just saying.
That's entry.
And
yeah.
Just so you
we,
guys
we go
listening
up from there.
understand what we're talking about
Yeah.
here.
So that kind of system is a 16-hour operation. So you're generating 5,500 or plus revenue for your store in 16 hours. And I don't know of a lot of other categories in your business that can generate that revenue. So that's important point number one.
It's a lot of car starters.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But we got frustrated because we didn't know exactly what the system was doing. We'd set this car on the road, and I'm without any verification that what we did is working. So we started reading forums and websites, and the wonderful world of the internet. And man, we said there was so many things like this going on between brands and people and all that other stuff. And one guy would say this, and another guy would say that. And finally, the team here just said, can we invest in the tools? Like Automotive Performance Shop would invest in a dyno, and we've got all this acoustical training or acoustical measurement equipment for our audio side. Can we go out and purchase the test equipment that we need to not only verify the performance, but test these cars for what's going on? Because this little beast right here, the Dragonite compact gun, this is the variable pulse rate gun that set the world on.
Oh, that's the one.
alert.
That's the infamous,
This is
notorious
the Dragonite.
Dragonite. Okay, I never knew what it looked like. There you go.
Right. So there's, everybody has their claim to fame that they can defeat the Dragonite gun. And we didn't really know because we couldn't verify performance. And that's one of the things that we're telling a lot of our dealers out there is, man, if you're actually doing this business and you are collecting that kind of money from a client and turning the car out on the street, it's like doing an audio system and putting it in and turning on. Yep, there's sound, see ya. You'd never do that. I mean, we've talked and done tons of training, Ben, of all the tuning that goes on in an audio system. And I know you're from the performance world as well. So there's lots of tuning to be done there. 100%. But on this category, we're out. So I just got frustrated. I said, yeah, let's go out and invest that. So we've got this. And then we've got a Stalker brand KA gun. And we started testing and learning and loosely mounting laser shifters. So laser performance is really important for where you put those laser shifters on the car. So when I'm speaking laser shifter, I'll just point down here. That's these little guys right here. This
is shifter. Is that referring to like the sensor?
Yeah. So what's happening is the LiDAR, laser beam is coming at these things, and then everybody has their term. Escort calls them shifters.
Got it. Okay.
So they're not allowing that beam of light to reflect back to the gun where it gets the reading on you. And we're going to do a lot more technical training on this in the future with you guys. This is just kind of the tip of the iceberg kind of stuff.
Shifting the light, shifting the laser.
Correct.
Okay.
So you don't get tickets. Now, when Escort first introduced the Max product, it was very important for us to have that Dragonite laser gun because everybody was talking about it, and there was tons of information on the website that was completely inaccurate because every day when we're shooting these cars and delivering these cars to our clients, we're taking the gun out, putting the gun in the hands of our clients as one of our team is driving their car, and they get to shoot the car and they get to see that their cops are not going to be able to pick them up in their own hand. So I want you to understand the importance of that kind of stuff, because if somebody comes in, I was reading on the internet that brand X does this, but brand B doesn't. And we say, okay, let's take our gun outside. Let's go outside. We've got our car here, our demo car, because all of our cars have the systems in the car. Let's go out and we'll shoot them. And then we'll see. You don't have to believe these things. Let's go out and look at whether the gun is jammed. That's what we call it when we're jamming the laser signal. And boom, all of a sudden the internet goes away because now you've become the expert on what you're doing. So,
and this is a measurable, quantifiable, beyond a shadow of a doubt type of result.
Correct.
This is not because or it should be.
Yeah.
It either does it or it doesn't.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's varying levels of performance, and that's where we learned angles and where the sensors are placed on the front of the car and that kind of stuff. And we'll show you some of that in a bit.
On that note, Larry, it sounds like there's a lot that goes into, I guess, the design or the placement or all these elements.
Yeah.
Well, how does that process work?
Well, if we look at our display behind us here, this is the two systems from Escort. We've got the Max Ci here and the Ivt Ci over here. And this also highlights some of our specialty mounting kits we've developed. So this is the Escort control panel here, and this is the panel that we fabricate here and that we're going to make available as parts to our dealers. This is for Porsche 911, 991, 992, I can't remember which this one is specific to, but you open up the ashtray lid, this pops in there, and that's where the cigarette lighter works in there. So designing an ergonomically correct system is very important. These guys are spending $200,000-$300,000 on a car or $50,000 on a car, because remember, if it's got a gas pedal, it can get pushed and you can go faster than the speed limit. So let's not forget that the clientele or your available business here is very wide, because everybody likes to go fast. And then this is the display, and this is in our little module that mounts on top of the steering column cover on a Porsche. So that sits right in the instrument cluster area. So when it goes off, you can see what's going on and get all the information. This is the radar head that goes underneath the front bumper clip of the car. So we will be developing systems by MSC kits for these cars. So if you got a Porsche, you'll get this, you'll get this, you'll get this. This is the rear radar head. So if you want what we call directional awareness of where that radar signal is coming from, we can get that in there. And then we've got the GPS antenna. Brady was telling you about the auto learn function and everything. That is what brings that to light with the GPS technology. This box here is where the laser shifters, which are mounted in the front bumper of the car, plug into, and then they go to the brain, which is this guy over here. So Ivt Ci is very similar. At a more affordable price point, not quite as good of a radar head, not a beautiful full color display, and the controller very, very similar, but two different price points there that'll allow you to take care of any client.
All right, so there's quite a few components, which I just learned just now. I didn't realize there's so many pieces to the whole system. I'm just out of my own curiosity, these kits, they come with all the wiring involved, or the dealer has to supply the wiring?
No, all the wiring, the connectivity portion
right,
is included in the box. What's not included in the box is your design ideas of you thinking that you're in the seat and you're driving. Where do I want that display? Where do I want the controls? That's the important part. And I asked the client one time, I said, man, the client that I was explaining to you before, I said, we appreciate your business. We were out for lunch. And I said, appreciate your business, but why do you keep doing this to your cars, like putting a radar in every car you buy? And he says, because it gives me a sense of being safe. And when he says being safe, it makes you makes you as a driver more aware of your surroundings, because when this is going off, you're hyper alert all the time. So it makes you a much more alert driver. And that's part of what we talk about with our clients as well.
Okay. And not to mention all the customizable bits like you're referring to, like any templates or any type of shroud or whatever it is that you want to enhance to put that, signature touch that you as a store will put onto that install. I mean, that's no different from putting in a custom sound system in a vehicle, really, if you think about it.
Correct. Yeah. And if we look at the typical client that's buying this type of product and paying this kind of money, and we've seen some installations where the controller that you see here is two-way tape to the dash with the hunk of the connection cable coming out and stuffed in between a crack in the dash where it meets the top of the dash, meets the bottom of the dash. Well, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to get repeat clientele.
That's not how you can charge premium dollar for your service either.
Right. So if a person's willing, I mean, if you take $2 or 2 days of labor at 16 hours at $100 an hour, that's $1,600, and then about $4,000 for the product. So if the person is spending $4,000 on product, you don't have to do a $500 installation. You want to do a better quality installation. You want to make the project reversible if it's a leased car and he's going to keep
Right.
turning
There's
and
that as
turning and
well.
turning it.
Yes,
Right.
there's that as well. Absolutely.
Because if you do the installation correctly, you can take it out and put it in his next car. And we
Right.
always make that, we inform our clients, you're not buying this for the car. The car doesn't care
for the
whether you put a
driver.
radar. You're buying it for yourself. And when you get rid of that car and in the next car, you can either let that go with the new owner who's going to appreciate it and add value to your car. So if there's a car for sale, let's say a Porsche 911 with radar and without radar, and everything else is equal, and you're both guys trying to sell it, which one is going to sell first? Because the guy who drives that car wants that kind of protection. So not that it adds value, but it adds desirability. So these are all the things that we work with our dealers on to have them understand how to present this category to the consumer, to the end use client, where they're going to understand the value of what they're buying. Can we honestly look somebody in the eye and say, hey, this, you're going to save $5,500 in speeding tickets? Probably not.
Probably
But
not
I'll
smart
tell
to
you,
say that either.
when I see the police officer sighting this up in his eyes and he shoots my car and shoots it again, and I see him do one of
He
these,
starts looking at his gun like there's something wrong. Yeah,
that's worth $5,500
I'm
right
sure it
there.
is. I wish I could feel that feeling. But anyhow, that's another story. Okay, let's talk about some examples. I've seen them on your social media. We have a few. Let's bring that on the screen. Let's talk through them. How about that, Larry?
Sounds good. So we've purposely chosen cars where you can see the product, because I wanted to give everybody a very upfront approach to what goes into these installs. There's a lot of great hidden installations out there, which we've also done, where a lot of custom fabricators will take more than 16 hours. They'll do a 24 or 36 or 48-hour install and just make it amazing. That's not what this presentation is about today, although we can get there. What we wanted to show you today is what is required for these things to work perfectly. And again, if you don't have the guns to test them, you don't know. So we're going to give, for those of you without the guns, we're kind of going to give you a indication of what's going on. So this is a car, the same car that's on our display board here. But you can see in the middle inset grill, the two little laser shifters. Now that plastic piece, and we call this form and function. So when we get a car in and the client is, it's an expensive car, if it was a solid one-piece carbon fiber bumper with an integrated splitter and it's all carbon, we're probably not going to cut a hole in that. And the client's
suggested.
Yeah, the client's not going to want to do that. But that centerpiece where you see the little laser shifters built in, that's a plastic piece. I call them consumables because they're really not that expensive to buy. I think that piece was about $260 or something like that. So if the client ever did want to put it right back to stock for a Porsche file that he was selling the car to, he could do that. This car with two sensors is what we call jam to gun performance, JTG they call it. So they start shooting you with laser at about 400 to 500 meters. And for our friends in the US, that's about 1,500 feet. That's where they're going to start shooting you. And we want the unit to jam to a very, very close proximity to the police officer. We don't want them to get a reading on us. So in the Escort system, that is user adjustable for how long that laser will jam, from 0 to 10 seconds. At the end of that time, it will turn the jamming off, allowing the police to get a reading on you. So again, nothing's more satisfying. Pull, 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 looking at his gun. And then I set our systems for 6 seconds. After 6 seconds, I've had plenty of time to come down to speed. He pulls the trigger again. He looks at you as you go by and smile and wave because you're down to speed and it doesn't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. So that is an important function that Escort has put into their firmware now that allows you to not have to double tap the mute button like you used to have to do. So that's an example of the laser shifters on the front of the car. We've also done this with a company called Radar Mirror, putting the display in behind the glass of the mirror. So when we talk about integration, this is the premium integration, because now it is completely stock. Just like a mirror would have a compass or temperature display, now all your radar information is right in front of your eyes in your peripheral vision. It's just a beautiful, beautiful integration. There you can see the controller. As I was pointing to you on our display, that's the controller installed in there with the Porsche logo and everything. So flip the ashtray open. It looks like Porsche put that in the car. And the more that you can show your clients this level of integration, and we're going to make it easy for you because we are going to be selling these kits to you. So if you need a Porsche kit, it's going to come with all these pieces. So our whole gig, as you know from our audio side, is demonstrably better work, repeatable, and profitable. And those are the things that we're going to bring to the radar category that we've been doing in the audio side. Another example in a Corvette, you will easily see the laser shifters there as well as the radar head. So if we look if you go down from the Corvette logo to the left in the middle of the grille there, you'll see the radar head tucked there, and then the laser shifters off to either side of that. So again, ultra good jam-to-gun performance out of this car with 2 laser shifter heads. And you'll see on top of the steering column cover the display that we've built our pod for, and goes on top of the steering column cover. So now it's right in front of your face. If you're driving top down, tunes cranked, you see what's going on at the same time as the police are trying to get you.
Larry? Are there audible alerts too?
Yes.
And does that integrate into your sound system, or does it have a separate speaker system?
You can. It's got a mute wire out. So if the radar detector goes off, it can mute your audio system if you're doing an aftermarket audio system. But I don't particularly like that, because even though Escort's done some amazing job with filtering, it still turns my audio system on and off. And you got the tunes cranked, and all of a sudden it goes off, and the radar beeps once, and then boom, your tunes come in at full volume again. It's like
for the health of your sound system.
Yeah, not or the health of your heart. Because it's kind of scary sometimes.
Fair enough.
This is Ferrari we did for another very good client of ours, and we have put the laser shifters in behind that mesh grille. Now there's some tricks to that that you need to know, and we'll cover that off in another segment when we get into the technical side of this. But again, this car with Dragonite jam-to-gun performance. So we're showing you, again, different ways where you don't have to be super technical and Mr. Fab in order to get this system to work for you. There's the controller. We always want to integrate the controller where it looks like the manufacturer would have put it in there. So that's the display, and then we have CNC'd the little aluminum ring. It's brushed aluminum ring to match all of the controls, the little aluminum ring around the controls in the car. We do the same on the radar controller. That's the steering column cover where we've flushed in the controller there. So we've got the display in the center console area. The controller is right on the steering column cover, so you can get at it quickly if you want to turn up the volume or turn down the volume or mute the system or change sensitivity. That's all easily accessed right at the steering column cover. This was in a Lamborghini Urus. Again, a simple 2-head system. You can see the shifters just under the hood line there. Hood front bumper comes down. You'll see it to the left and right. Again, jam-to-gun performance in this car with the alignment that we have on there. And again, proven because we're testing this stuff. This isn't us assuming that it'll work. This isn't us collecting the money in hopes and prayers that it works. It does work. And this is with the Redline 360 radar detector, or sorry, not sure which one that is. I can't, small on my screen, but we're combining laser shifter performance with a portable mount radar detector. And this one is featuring the blend mount billet aluminum mount that wraps around the mirror post. So this brings the cost of admission down a little bit compared to a full built-in kit, but we still take the same integrity with the installation. The little power cable is wrapped in TechFlex with a piece of heat shrink on it, nice small amount of cable sticking out, so the owner of the car can remove that radar detector, use it when he goes on a business trip in a rental car or whatever, and then come back, pop it back on, plug our cable back in. He's got full coverage. So this was in that Urus that you saw the laser shifters before. So this package is in that $3,000 range, $3,000 to $3,500 range.
More entry level.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's some of the past projects, and then I wanted to take you outside. We have Jeff, who is in charge of all our front end sales. We just purchased a new F-150 Tremor truck, and this will be our Escort demo vehicle. And we quickly mocked up. The system is not installed in this truck, but we wanted to show you the ultimate in protection with this. So Jeff, if you can point out where the laser shifters are. We've got driver's side.
I've been looking for them this whole time. Now I see them. When you
That's the center one.
Okay. And
then the one on the passenger side up there. So Jeff, you could make a 20-inch circle with your arms, because the laser beam at 1,500 feet is about 20 to 24 inches. So when the police officer is shooting any part of the truck, and we use this example of the 3-head system because on a truck, because there's so much surface area. And what the police officer is shooting at is something that's vertical and highly reflective. So that nice big Ford logo in the center is a definite target spot for.
It wouldn't work if they hit the windshield?
No, because it'll just go right through. It's not going to come back.
Gotcha.
And then the other part that they're going to hit is on the headlights. So the left and right shifter, if you take that 20-inch window there, it's going to protect you against the headlight. The center one is going to protect you against what we call center mass. And then on the passenger side is the 20-inch against the.
Are they the exact same sensor 3 times, Larry?
Yes. So back in 2019, Escort developed a new algorithm. So their system was designed to work with 2 heads. But when you put it on a truck like this, or even worse, let's say an F-250 or 350 that had a chrome grille, chrome, white, anything that's highly reflective is the absolute devil to CI installers out there, because it's highly reflective. So when we put 2 sensors on an F-350 that's all chrome grille, you are asking a lot out of those 2 sensors to jam that signal. So the engineering team at Escort went to work and developed a new algorithm where we now refer to it as shifter 1, 2, 3. So driver's side being 1, the centerpiece being 2, and the passenger side being 3, and that plugs into that bridge box that I showed you on our display. Gotcha. And then you flash it with the latest software update from Escort, and you, with the dip switches on the brain, you tell it that these were using 3 shifters in the front of the car.
And what's interesting about this example, Larry, is this isn't a supercar. This is not a hyper car. It's a truck.
Dude, it's a Tremor, though, man. It's a Tremor.
Fine. Okay, it's a Tremor. Give you that. But
it's an F-150 with fancy badging.
But the point is, it's not just about supercars. Yes, there's a great market for that because the budget permits that type of clientele. But that's a $100,000 truck.
This one is 70,000.
Okay, 70,000. It's still a very expensive truck.
I ask for those our dealers out there, if a guy's got a Ferrari or a Lambo or a Porsche, if a guy's got a Ferrari, Lambo, or a Porsche, what are the chances he's got an F-150 or a Silverado or a Tundra at home as well?
Pretty darn
90% chance.
That's like asking when the guy comes into your shop with a pickup truck and there's a hitch on it, what's the chance there's a toy at home?
Yeah, exactly. We just put a laser defense system on a BMW R1250 adventure bike. Just picked it up yesterday.
On a bike?
On a bike
too.
Sure.
I didn't even think about bikes.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this isn't, everybody loves music, but to some people, the AM radio is good enough. They can tap their toe to that. But everybody, if we had an audience and I asked who's got a speeding ticket in their driving life, everybody's going to put up their hand. And if you haven't, you're not driving fast enough. And you're not having fun. So that's really what our goal is to have you understand what the size of your potential marketplace is, how to present the product with displays, how to educate your sales team on the floor on how to present the product. Because Ben, you tell me, when you walk into a store, is radar prominent in those stores?
Definitely not. And even stores that do it, I feel might not have emphasized it as much as they could have. Now, is it something that you have to put right front forward? I don't know. I'm leaning on you on this one. Is this something that you should put as, I noticed that right behind you, you actually have a full display branded right there.
Yes. Yes. So, and speaking of the guy with the R1250, he's just here now. So, yeah, to us, it is the highest dollar per square foot of wall space that we have in the store. And when you start looking at smaller showrooms with the condensed displays where you don't have $1 million of inventory on your display on your showroom floor, this category earns its spot on the wall. And there's so many stores that I walk into, they've got the custom install kit in the box in the glass showcase or in the stock room. And somebody has to come in asking if you sell radar and laser jammers. How many people in the world out there, if we go pick 100 people off the street, how many of them actually know that they can get a device that will jam a police laser gun?
Promotion,
2, 1,
education, awareness.
Yeah. So we're going to put a lot of effort into that, as we've done on the audio side, to make sure our dealer partners have proper in-store merchandising aids. And the most important thing is that they have the system in the car, and we can help them gain the tools that we purchased, the dyno, if you will, or the RTA of the radar world, and then educate. And that's our commitment moving forward.
Lastly, I just want to reiterate something. So you're saying Systems by MSC is also now going to provide components for OEM integration of custom install Escort pieces moving forward.
Late 2022, yes. We got to get the audio side done first because we got too many dealers
yelling.
What
about the audio side? Okay, I get it though. Because this will certainly help with install and custom install for sure for popular vehicles, of course.
Yeah, and again, from a tech support side, the dude rolls in with the car you haven't worked on again. Call us. We'll put Dewey or Derek or Colin on the phone with you, and we'll tell you where to put the stuff. We'll tell you how to get the car apart. We'll tell you how to get the cables through the firewall. Where else in the radar world are you going to get that kind of support? And that is, well, yes. But I want to add value to that, and I know that the dealers that work with us now do see value in that because it's very, very important. We get photos, hey, where should I put this stuff? Well, send us a picture of the front end of the car, and they'll send it to us. We'll mark up the picture and say, here, here, and here is where the laser shifter should go. Send it back to them. How do I get the car apart? Go inside the inner fender well, take these bolts out. If it's Ferrari, get a bunch of Ziploc bags together because Ferrari's still
when it comes
using
to some of these vehicles that you may not be playing with every day, and higher end vehicles that you don't want to necessarily break a clip or anything like that.
Right.
For sure. I put up some information up there. Escort Radar, if you want to find out more information of these systems that Larry's talking about. But more importantly, you're interested in this business. Let's start with that. If you're interested in this business, give the guys at MSC a call. MSC-America.com is their website. Doesn't matter where you are, give them a call. I think Larry and his team are more than willing to get you off on the right start.
Absolutely. We'll be hitting the road soon with our demo truck. Now, I apologize to the guys in Eastern Canada because you cannot legally promote or use laser and radar detectors out there.
We can own them. We just can't use them.
Yes, exactly. So we'll be doing a Western Canadian tour with the Tremor, with the system in there, through late July and August, and into September this year through Western Canada. We want to visit with everybody and educate them and let them know the importance of this category for their business, because I tell you, it would not be the same for us without it.
Beautiful. You heard it there. Horse's mouth. Larry, thank you so much. This has been a fun one. I learned a lot, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So let's keep on this pulse. I think this is something that a lot of dealers need to discover and be a part of.
Yeah, and as I said, we're gonna be using your guys' resource in the future to do way more in-depth technical stuff.
Cool.
I wanna. We didn't get super technical today. I just wanted you to understand the 30,000-foot view of what we're talking about, and then we're gonna dive and dive and dive again until everybody is radar detection gurus. And we're members of the Porsche Club and members of the Ferrari Club, and we bring them in and show them the new technology with radar and laser and all that stuff. It's just an ongoing self-fulfilling promotion, and it works great.
Beautiful. I love it. Great stuff. Larry, thank you so much, man. We look forward to the next one.
All right. Everybody have a great Canada Day and the July 4th weekend in the U.S. Keep going.
And the entire MSC team.
Thanks. Have a great day.
There you have it, guys. Really interesting one. Speed trap protection, Escort MSC. Hope you guys learned a lot of that one. I know I did. I want to remind you to keep on keeping it locked right here at CMA Networks. We're going through mobile audio accessories right through to July 8th. Different brands every day. Deep dive on each and every single one of them. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you check out our website, cmanetworks.com. Tons of videos, every category imaginable, hundreds more where this came from. You can search for them by either the brand, by category, or even by trainer. Check out Larry's got his own profile on there with all the great videos that we've collaborated with together. That's it. Thanks for staying tuned and locked in to CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
Stop it. Yo, roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?